Deep in the Nevada desert lies a place shrouded in mystery. For decades it has captured the imagination of the public, inspiring countless stories, rumors, and wild theories. This is a land where the horizon seems endless, the silence is profound, and secrets are buried beneath the scorching sun and shifting sands. It is called Area 51. The very name conjures images of barbed wire fences, armed guards, and warning signs that keep the curious at bay. Established in 1955, this military base is home to some of America's most closely guarded secrets. It was created during the height of the Cold War, a time when the United States was racing to outpace its adversaries in technology and defense. For decades, its very existence was officially denied. The government refused to acknowledge what was happening here, fueling even more speculation and curiosity. Even today, little is publicly known about what goes on inside this top-secret facility. The perimeter is heavily guarded and unauthorized access is strictly forbidden. Area 51 is located in a remote region known as Groom Lake. The dry, flat lakebed provided an ideal location for runways and secret test flights. The dry lakebed provided a perfect secluded runway for experimental aircraft. Here, engineers and pilots could test new designs far from the eyes of the world. The surrounding mountains and vast desert offered natural barriers, isolating the base from prying eyes. The harsh environment itself became a shield, making it nearly impossible for outsiders to approach undetected. This isolation made it an ideal location for developing and testing cutting-edge technology away from the public eye. The remoteness allowed for innovation without fear of espionage or leaks. From the beginning, secrecy was paramount at Area 51. Security was tight, and only those with the highest clearances were allowed inside. It was a place where new ideas could be explored, where the boundaries of flight could be pushed, and where the future of aerial warfare was being shaped. Many of the world's most advanced aircraft, like the U-2 and the SR-71 Blackbird, were developed and tested here, changing the course of aviation history. But all of this came at a cost, a shroud of secrecy that would fuel decades of speculation, intrigue, and conspiracy theories. Stories of UFOs, alien encounters, and government cover-ups became part of the legend, blurring the line between fact and fiction. Over the years, Area 51 has become a cultural phenomenon. Tourists flock to the edges of the restricted zone, hoping to catch a glimpse of something extraordinary, while local businesses thrive on the mystique, selling alien-themed souvenirs and memorabilia. The name Area 51 itself is shrouded in mystery. It appears on few official documents and its origins remain unclear. Some believe it was a random designation, while others speculate it relates to a Cold War-era grid system used for classified locations. The ambiguity only adds to the allure. Whatever the origin, the name Area 51 has become synonymous with secrecy, hidden truths, and the potential for extraordinary discoveries. It stands as a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to endure, hidden in the heart of the desert. Area 51 is one of the most heavily guarded places on Earth. Security measures are extreme, designed to deter even the most determined intruder. The base is surrounded by miles of barbed wire fences, sensor systems, and warning signs. Armed guards patrol the perimeter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready to apprehend anyone who trespasses. The airspace above Area 51 is also strictly controlled. It is a designated no-fly zone with unauthorized aircraft prohibited from entering. Sophisticated radar systems monitor the skies, and any intrusions are met with swift and decisive action. Even approaching the perimeter by air can have serious consequences. Those who work at Area 51 are sworn to secrecy. They undergo rigorous background checks and security clearances. Their movements are closely monitored and they are forbidden from discussing their work with anyone outside the base. This culture of secrecy is deeply ingrained, ensuring that the secrets of Area 51 remain protected. The extreme security measures surrounding Area 51 have only served to fuel public curiosity and speculation. The fact that so much effort is put into keeping people out has led many to believe that the government must be hiding something truly extraordinary within its confines. To truly grasp the intense secrecy that has always surrounded Area 51, we need to journey back in time, back to an era when the world was gripped by paranoia and suspicion. The story begins in the 1950s, a decade marked by rapid technological change and a growing sense of unease. Across the United States, families watched the news with apprehension, aware that the world was changing in ways they could barely comprehend. The Cold War was at its peak, and the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense, global standoff. Each side viewed the other with deep suspicion, convinced that the slightest misstep could trigger a catastrophic conflict. Both superpowers were engaged in a dangerous arms race, pouring vast resources into developing ever more powerful weapons. At the same time, they were locked in a shadowy battle of espionage, each desperate to uncover the other's secrets and stay one step ahead. In this climate of fear and suspicion, the US government realized that traditional intelligence-gathering methods, spies on the ground, intercepted communications, were no longer enough. The Soviets were becoming more sophisticated and the risks of being caught were higher than ever. As headlines blared stories of double agents and secret plots, it became clear that a new approach was needed. The world of espionage was evolving, and so too were the tools required to navigate it. It was during this time that a bold idea took shape: to create a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft, one that could soar above enemy territory, gathering vital intelligence while remaining out of reach of Soviet defenses. This vision would soon become reality in the form of the legendary U-2 spy plane. The development of such an advanced aircraft demanded absolute secrecy. Every detail from its design to its testing had to be hidden from prying eyes, both foreign and domestic. The Soviets, with their own network of spies and informants, could not be allowed to learn of the project. If they did, the entire operation, and the safety of the nation, could be compromised. To achieve this level of secrecy, the government needed a location that was both remote and secure, a place where the aircraft could be built, tested and flown without fear of detection or interference. Area 51, nestled deep within the Nevada desert and surrounded by natural barriers, proved to be the perfect solution. Its isolation made it nearly impossible for outsiders to approach unnoticed. The Cold War provided the context: a desperate need for intelligence, a race for technological superiority, and a willingness to do whatever it took to stay ahead. In this environment, Area 51 was born, shrouded in secrecy from the very beginning. The stakes could not have been higher. The government was prepared to go to extraordinary lengths to protect its secrets, setting the stage for decades of mystery, speculation, and intrigue that continue to this day. Out of the secrecy of Area 51 emerged a revolutionary aircraft, the U-2 spy plane. Designed by Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works division, the U-2 was, honestly, a marvel of engineering. Its lightweight design and powerful engine allowed it to fly at altitudes exceeding 70,000 feet, well above the reach of Soviet radar and fighter jets at the time. The U-2 was equipped with high-resolution cameras capable of capturing detailed images of Soviet military installations, airfields, and missile sites. These images provided vital intelligence to the United States government, allowing them to assess Soviet capabilities and intentions. The U-2's flights were shrouded in secrecy. Its existence was a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few within the government. Pilots were recruited from the ranks of the CIA and underwent rigorous training to prepare them for the demanding and honestly, quite dangerous missions. The U-2's first flight over Soviet territory took place in July 1956. The information gathered during these flights proved invaluable, providing insights into Soviet military capabilities that had previously been unknown to United States intelligence agencies. The U-2 became a critical asset during the Cold War, helping to prevent misunderstandings and potentially even averting conflict. While the U-2 was a groundbreaking aircraft, its limitations soon became apparent. Designed to fly at the edge of the atmosphere, the U-2 gave the United States an unprecedented ability to peer deep into enemy territory. But as the Cold War intensified, so did the race for technological superiority. Advances in Soviet radar technology meant that the U-2 was becoming increasingly vulnerable to detection and interception. Soviet air defenses were rapidly improving, and the skies were no longer as safe as they once seemed for American reconnaissance pilots. A faster, higher-flying aircraft was needed to maintain the United States intelligence-gathering advantage. The challenge was clear: build a plane that could outpace and outclimb any threat, flying so high and so fast that it would be untouchable. Once again, Area 51 became the birthplace of innovation. Hidden away in the Nevada desert, this secretive base provided the perfect environment for testing the next generation of spy planes, far from prying eyes and foreign intelligence. The CIA, working in conjunction with Lockheed's legendary Skunk Works division, embarked on a top-secret project to develop a successor to the U-2. The stakes were higher than ever, and the pressure to succeed was immense. Every detail was classified, and only a select few were allowed to know the full scope of the mission. The result was the A-12 Oxcart, an aircraft that pushed the boundaries of speed and altitude further than ever before. Sleek, sharp, and futuristic, the A-12 looked like something out of science fiction, but it was very real. And very fast. The A-12 was a marvel of engineering, constructed using exotic materials like titanium to withstand the extreme temperatures generated by high-speed flight. Titanium was notoriously difficult to work with, but it was the only metal that could survive the intense heat created as the aircraft sliced through the air at over 2,000 miles per hour. It was capable of reaching speeds exceeding Mach 3, 3 times the speed of sound, and altitudes of over 90,000 feet, making it virtually untouchable by any air defense systems in existence at the time. Pilots wore pressurized suits similar to those used by astronauts, as the cockpit environment was as harsh as outer space. The A-12's development was shrouded in even greater secrecy than its predecessor. Security was so tight that even the workers building the plane often had no idea what they were really working on. The project was given the code name Oxcart, and even those involved in its development were kept in the dark about its true purpose. Only a handful of top officials knew the full story, and layers of deception were used to protect the project's secrets from both foreign and domestic threats. Test flights were conducted under a veil of secrecy, with the aircraft often disguised as a U-2 to avoid attracting attention. Pilots risked their lives with every mission, pushing the limits of technology and human endurance in the name of national security.